I'd have to give him a C, maybe even a C minus, with the knowledge that he has a very, very steep learning curve. He comes into office with very little understanding of the complexities of geopolitics, the complexities of international frameworks when it comes to trade, and the fact that he has walked back a lot of this very strident, belligerent language about labeling China a currency manipulator and 45% tariffs, one China policy. He's walked all of those back. So I have to give him credit for that.
You give him credit for walking that back, to being a bit more moderate. Do you also give him credit for actually trying to do what he said he would do on the campaign trail? For example, he said, I'm going to pull out of the TPP. He did that. He said, I'm going to have an immigration ban. He tried to do that through an executive order. He's coming against the courts. He also said, I'm going to have tax reform. He's already proposed that. Yeah. So do you give him credit for actually following through with many of the issues he said he would tackle?
Certainly have to give him credit for going after and trying to follow up on those hot button election issues. No question about that. You mentioned the TPP. Unfortunately, from my perspective, as an economist, as somebody who watches trade closely, that is the single most damaging thing I think that Mr. Trump has done in his first 100 days.
Why? Because he says he prefers bilateral deals. He says, you know what, let me just negotiate individually with South Korea or China or Germany.
Yeah, that approach is a transactional approach, and the rationale behind that is you have direct impact, you can follow up on, with punitive actions if standards aren't met. But the problem with that is how many of those bilaterals do you need to negotiate? Multiple bilaterals, and it takes a long time to negotiate these things, and you end up with different standards in different bilaterals, which, given today's very complex environment of value chains, with products crossing 5, 6, 7, a dozen borders, it's much more convenient to have a multilateral framework in place.